Join me for the day of Jack's surgery. So on the 25th of April, Jack was booked in for his surgery and we had to drop him off for 8 a.m. So he's already been sleeping in his cage, so he's very used to being in there. So when I got up, he was obviously in his cage still, opened the curtains, said good morning to him, and then I went and prepped my breakfast. Obviously Jack wasn't allowed to eat because he was having surgery. So I got myself some breakfast together. I wasn't feeling hungry, so I thought if I take it with me, at least then I will have something to eat after I've dropped him off. So I packed myself a cereal bar, a yogurt, and a banana because I was like, I do need to eat, but I wasn't hungry. I think we can all relate to that. I was a little bit nervous to see how we would get on. So then we drove over to the vets, we went to the Animal Trust in Dewsbury. It's not too far from us, about 20-30 minute drive, depending on the traffic. So we've made it to the vets for Jack's surgery today. As you can tell, he's super happy about it. Aren't you? Super happy about the vets? No. He's annoyed because he's not had his breakfast, which obviously is just absolute treachery. So yeah, we're going to go get him booked in and then be back to pick him up later. So I've just dropped Jack in at the vets now, so he's there for the rest of the day having his surgery on his left stifle. He didn't really want to go in today. Normally he's quite good about going in and seeing everyone, and he wants to say hi to everyone in the back, but I think after being there for his x-rays a couple of weeks ago, he just did not want to go in today at all. So we had to persuade him a little bit, but in the end he went and said hi to people, so hopefully he'll settle down well enough for them and I won't get a call that he's causing havoc, because I've got to go to work now. So I'm going to drive over to my first client, which luckily isn't too far from the vets, probably have a little time to eat my breakfast, go for a bit of a walk, try and keep my mind off of things, because obviously a little bit stressful. They've said that they'll give us a call later on when they've finished, and if everything goes well he'll be home tonight, and if not, then he'll be transferred to a nearby hospital because they don't have any overnight care here, so they'll transfer him to hospital that's about an hour's drive away for the evening, so we would have to take him there so they could give him stronger pain relief. But they've said that so far with this surgery they've not had to do that, so hopefully Jack won't be the one dog that does need to go over there, although I would not put it past him. He is extremely accident prone and he is not the best at being steady and not moaning and whatnot, but we'll see how he gets on. Hopefully they'll have no issues with him and he'll be on his best behaviour. I'm sure he will be. But yes, I'm going to drive over to my client now, go for a bit of a walk, have my breakfast, distract myself for the morning, and then I've got some admin work to do this afternoon. I'm going to go to the gym, just try and keep my mind off of things until he's ready to collect this evening, and fingers crossed all goes well. So it's 11 o'clock now, I've just got back from work, so I'm going to head inside and get changed into my gym clothes because I have a Zumba class at 12, so I'm going to do that on my lunch break, and then we have to get through all of the notes, vet reports and bookings for this week, social media messages, etc. Before we pick Jack up this evening. That's Zumba done. I'm quite impressed that my hair is still somewhat up in a bun. Now we're going to the petrol station, we're going to get some fuel, just in case we have to go to Bolton this evening, because I definitely don't have enough fuel to get us there. So I'm going to get some fuel now, then head home and have some lunch. So I've had my shower, done my hair, had my lunch. Now I really need to get on with some work because that all took far longer than I thought. It's now like 2:30. So I really need to get these notes done. So come work with me for a bit and you can see the more boring side of my job, where I get to sit at a desk and do bookings, write notes, write vet reports, all that fun stuff. So I finished up doing all of the work that I needed to do, and we'd still not heard from the vets, but it was coming up for like 4 or 5 o'clock. And at that time, it can take us nearly an hour to get over there, and I know that they shut at 6:30. So we tried to give them a call, we didn't get an answer, and we sent them a message online and just drove over there. And in the end, we got a message back saying that we could pick him up at 6, which was good because we got there at about 5:30, which was super handy. So we just had enough time to nip into the shops, get a couple of bits that we needed, and then we picked him up. And then the night got a little bit chaotic, so I didn't get very many clips, unfortunately. So we picked him up. He wasn't overly happy. Obviously, he was still a little bit sleepy, but he was very good in the car on the way home, not too impressed by his cone. And then we got home, we got him settled in his cage. We put the protective leg cover that I mentioned in my previous video on, just to make sure that his plaster stayed on for the next couple of days. And he was quite happy in his cage, luckily. He settled down really quickly. He had his evening medication, although he wasn't really too fussed about eating, so we did just have to give him them. But he did settle and he was still very sleepy. I was able to read my book for a little bit before going to bed. Luckily, Jack's surgery went really well. If you'd like to follow us for the rest of his rehab and his recovery, don't forget to subscribe.